This should be a great time in your life. Those wonderful student years when you're old enough to make choices and too young to take total responsibility. You're really getting out on your own, but sometimes you need a little help on the road to independence.
I didn't feel like I was going to succeed as well, and my expectations for myself weren't anywhere near as high.
Going through high school, there was always that question of whether or not I was going to be able to go on to college and succeed. And now that I'm in education, the question still is, what is it going to be like? What are the challenges I'm going to face?
Kids with disabilities often have expectations that are just much lower than they need to be. And in Do It, we try to change that.
Who wants the Do It logo front center? Yeah, up top.
Do It stands for Disabilities, Opportunities, Internetworking, and Technology. It's a University of Washington program designed to help students with disabilities become successful in both college and careers. Technology is key.
What was that?
The first year I come here, I never had experience working on the internet, and I really like the internet, especially email, and so that's what it really got me going with email. And now if somebody were to take my email away from me, I would kill them probably.
Okay, that's a little extreme, but technology does open a wide range of career opportunities and personal connections.
Well, and in these days, I mean, like a place like Microsoft, the people that work here, I'm on a completely equal footing with any of those people because the things that you're doing here are purely creations of the mind.
Greg Smith is a software design engineer at Microsoft. He's also a mentor for Do It Scholars, one of many successful business people who volunteer support, advice, and friendship to students with disabilities.
It's making sure that someone isn't isolated in their thoughts, because that's something that a high school kid has to deal with anyway, that they feel alone or isolated, or that something difficult that they're going through is unique to them, and that there isn't any help out there.
Hi, Sandra. Morning.
Many of Do It's mentors know exactly what kids are going through because they've been there.
I've been through this thing. I had the stroke and so on. And I find it incredibly gratifying to be able to share that with somebody and to be able to help someone else who's going through some of the same things.
Roger Harris is a professor in the University of Washington's medical school. His approach to mentoring is to seek out a few students with similar disabilities to his, or with interest in medicine. He takes a personal interest in each protege.
She's in college now, and she was very interested in doing something like nursing or PA or something like that, and we went round and around for quite a while trying to help her to decide what things she wanted to do, and I kept getting information on these different programs and sending it to her, and then that was just great. I love doing that, and I'm still waiting to find out where she actually ends up.
So today we're going to use solar ovens to cook hot dogs.
As a graduate student, teaching assistant, and mentor, Kim Kadura has first-hand knowledge of the college experience. Her discussion groups during Do It summer program cover a wide range of student concerns.
I've initiated discussions about, living on your own, going grocery shopping, planning for college, adaptive technology, just a range of issues.
Mentors can calm fears about independent living. When Kevin Berg started at Seattle Pacific University, his mother was sure he'd never be able to live on campus, that he'd be home in 2 weeks. But with a friendly roommate and a few accommodations, it worked out just fine.
Anything that he needed, they were more than willing to accommodate.
No. Kevin had 4 successful years on campus, and today he has his own website design business. And although he often lets his father translate for him in face-to-face discussion groups, on the internet he needs no interpreter.
It really helps kids
Email is a major part of Do It's mentoring program. Distance and disability don't matter on the Internet.
Because we're equal.
Do It encourages mentors and proteges to communicate one-on-one online. Electronic lists of those with similar disabilities or interests facilitate group discussions and projects. All this is done electronically without concern for limits of time, location, or disability.
I can communicate with people who have speech impairment, so in some ways the Internet is even better than person-to-person mentoring.
Sometimes students live in isolated areas or across the country from a mentor.
Email is a great tool, and I think it's a great way for the mentors and the students to keep in touch during the school year when we might be thousands of miles apart.
And even just across town, email eliminates accessibility problems. Ed has been a mentor to Bridget McCarthy, who also has a profound hearing loss.
Since I can't use the Taliban, email is about a part of my life, and Ed and I would email every once in a while to find out how the other person was doing, and he always seemed very concerned about how I was doing, and that made me feel like I had someone who cared about me and really wanted to see me do well.
Bridget is doing very well. A former DoIT scholar, she's in college now and considering a career in audiology. Volunteering at a pediatric clinic gives her some practical knowledge and some encouragement.
I try to tell the DoIT kids to listen to their hearts and think about what they really want to do. Don't listen to people saying, no, you can't do this or that, or you should be thinking only about this kind of work. Just think about what you really want to do, what really turns you on, and go for it.
Before she met Ed, Bridget had never known an adult with a hearing impairment. She had no role model, and she sometimes wondered what her life would be like.
But when I met him, I was so surprised how he had such a normal life, and he had a family, and he worked with people that had normal hearing, and so that made me feel a lot better about my future.
There's a parking brake right here. A parking brake. I have to see it. Okay, there's a parking brake.
By example, Ed helped Bridget learn how to interact with others.
He taught me that even though I have a hearing impairment, I can always stick up for myself, and I should, if I don't understand something, to ask people to clarify it for me, because I've always had a problem with doing that, because I don't want to be embarrassed in front of other people.
And now, Bridget will mentor other DoIT scholars. Once students move on to college, they share their experiences with younger participants.
Print it out.
Well, clearly we want to be able to provide them with a couple of different options, and I'm seeing a couple of options that are already in there that I think could work.
After college, there's another challenge on the road to success. Getting that first job is crucial.
I think a mentor in the field that the student is interested in can be invaluable in terms of having sort of an ear to the ground about what the job opportunities are like.
Karen Greatmeyer is a Seattle architect. With today's technology, she hopes to see more people with disabilities enter the field.
There aren't very many people with disabilities in my profession. I think there's room for more. And it used to be that you had to be able to work on huge drawings and do very fine motor skill kinds of things. Well, now all the ideas that are up here can come out to the computer much more easily.
This is what we've been waiting for this evening, so please help me welcome the trench coat.
Mentoring has its social moments as well.
Bright sunshiny day.
Despite the benefits of fiber optics, person-to-person contact is still an important part of bonding.
And all of my bad feelings have disappeared now that they're gone on. If
There's nothing like really getting everybody in the same place and talking to someone so that you can put a face with the email name next time you see them online.
It's gonna be a bright and shiny day. Bop, bop, bop. Woo!
For students, it's inspiring to meet someone who's working in their field of interest.
What it boils down to is that in a lot of cases, getting the career you want, the prerequisite to that is thinking that you might be able to do it. And so just having someone that might be in a position that you think you want to be in allows you to consider that possibility.
And what's in it for the mentors? New energy and ideas, for one thing.
The excitement, enthusiasm, and sort of fresh ideas that a student can bring to the table. I think those things can be very refreshing to people who've been in the workplace sort of doing the same sort of thing over and over for a while. Working with students in that way is very invigorating. I find it very exciting.
Mentors themselves can network and grow.
I've grown up pretty much encountered within the hearing world, and I know a lot about hearing loss. But in the Do It program, there are people with so many other different kinds of disabilities, many more than I knew ever existed. And so, for me, the mentoring opportunity is also a learning opportunity for me as well.
And it's a chance to pass on some hard-earned experience.
I think that's why I'm a mentor, because it gives me an opportunity to put my experience to good use and to help out other people and get them through things that were hard for me once and that now I know how to do.
Do It received national recognition with the Presidential Award for Excellence in Mentoring. At the White House, Director Sheryl Bergstahler accepted the award for embodying excellence in mentoring underrepresented students and encouraging their significant achievement in science, mathematics, and engineering. Do It also received the National Information Infrastructure Award for exceptional use of the Internet to support young people.
In Do It, students from cities and rural communities, from rich and poor families, from a variety of ethnic backgrounds, and with disabilities that affect their vision, hearing, mobility, health, and learning, come together in an electronic community and experience life on a level playing field. Today, the Do It Project, which is primarily funded by the National Science Foundation, is honored to receive an award for its creative use of the national information infrastructure. We look forward to the day when stories like ours are no longer exceptional, but commonplace. Thank you.
For more information about mentoring, contact Do It. On the World Wide Web, all in lowercase with no spaces, http://weber.uwvideo/DOIT. Email doit@u.washington.edu. Phone, voice or TTY, area code 206-685-DOIT. Address: Do It, University of Washington, Box 354842, Seattle, Washington, 98195-4842. Director Sheryl Bergstahler, Ph.D. The creation of this videotape was made possible by a grant from the National Science Foundation. The University of Washington also contributed resources to this project. Copyright 1998, University of Washington.